hello from Mississippi. Ready for some motivation. Laura, you're down in Mississippi again. Boy, you get around, don't you? Pick, you there? Napoleon. Oh, my goodness. Julie, 11 months into this pandemic. Yes, in fact, we are. And the last show that I did was there in Minneapolis, where you are. I kind of can't believe it. And I know they're open again. Ed, greetings in rainy Oakland to you. Rolling blackouts, 9 degrees, freezing to death. Jen, I am so sorry to hear that. Happy St. Skeletor's Day. Bob, you don't need to work that hard. Today is President's Day. Hashtag not all presidents. Keith, greetings to you in Florida. And Rich DeChooch, no, it is not Friday yet, but it's almost just was Friday. So we're still doing okay. I've got a new toy here since the last time I got this Kindle so that I've got to change my settings, but it keeps auto closing because I was hoping that I could watch the show on here on Gary, hello to you. Yes, I am well. I was hoping that I could watch the show on YouTube on here and see if I could see the comments as they come in on YouTube, but I'm not. It doesn't seem like that's happening right now. And oh, maybe this is how it all works. Now it's probably because I was hoping that I could watch the show on here. Isn't that fun? On then you can hear me talking, Gary, about just talking. So now I can see, and can I see the? It always wants to sell you some free things on the YouTube. I'm trying to see if I can see if there's any comments on here, and we'll see if that pops up or not, or if that's what I was hoping. Wow. What? Oh, it just turned itself. Wow. I was hoping that again, this is me up against a little bit of technology, and I've figured it out. You can't set the thing down on its own volume button. Yeah, Skeletor's power is beyond my understanding, Rachel, and so is the power of these devices. Because I was trying to see if, because the Mevo allows me to simulcast these other places, if there was a way that I could look at the other places. Keith is saying no comments on YouTube. Yeah, hardly ever is any comments. Not many people are watching on YouTube, which makes me think I might get rid of the Mevo and just go with the phone camera, which kind of makes a little bit nicer shot, and then I can upload it to YouTube afterwards because nobody's watching it live on there anyway. People sometimes watch it afterwards. So, Charles, good to see you. Dave, greetings. Today's Motivational Monday. If you're, I'm talking to you, Charles, everybody else I recognize in the comments, but of course there's people watching that haven't watched before. It's good to see you. I've been here since the end of March last year. We're gonna do at least the full year on the Daily Briefing, if not more. You just posted a test comment on YouTube, Ed. Good for you. I'm trying to see if I can see it, or where do I go to be able to see it? I don't see it yet, but we'll see. We'll see if that shows up. Picture looks good today, Pick. Yes, well, I've got some good internet today. So mid last week, I got this lovely present from Rachel. Today's Motivational Monday, and Rachel motivated me with the thing that she's doing to increase the happiness in the world. Rachel Cole, who wrote all the Seeds of the Day books, or has compiled them, has sent this book that she's written. It's called Choose Happiness by Rachel Cole. Rachel, I meant to look and see if it was available on Amazon, but you've written this nice inscription here from me. Thank you, Jake, for all the happiness and light you bring to the world. That's very nice. Thank you, Rachel. And so I've just started to look at your book about choosing happiness. And I do think also, like you, as you do, that happiness is a choice, or rather it can be a choice. Sometimes we're happy without really even making a choice. Something great happens and you realize that you're happy. But you can also choose to be happier. You can choose to not let things bother you. Or today, what I wanted to talk about on Motivational Monday was not that. Kim, you're saying you're still around waiting for this ice storm. Oh boy. I've been seeing ice storms. Dallas, it's snowing down in Dallas. My buddy who has a jiu-jitsu gym down there was posting all these pictures of, how many people had showed up to train in the snow and ice. And I wish I could be going to jiu-jitsu now. I'm not positive it's a great idea, but I'm not able to do it. But yeah, I've seen pictures of snow all over the place, and here in California, it's about 65 degrees. We had a little bit of a sidewalk lunch at a cafe near our house with some friends of ours. So we went for some outdoor dining. I've had my workout and my sea dip today. I'm in touch with a truck dealer because I need to get a truck. Oh, Rachel is saying her book is on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. She'll post the info on the Daily Briefing page in the chat. So if you're not in the chat, you can ask to be in the Daily Briefing group, and that'll give you access to that link. But it's Rachel's book, Choose Happiness, and it is how long is it? The font choice is excellent. It's readable, possibly. I can't read it without my glasses, but it's not the super tiny type that can be annoying to a man of my age. So there's additional references in the back. That's really terrific, and it's 255 pages. So you'll be able to digest this and refer back to it and not be overwhelmed by it. Because the last thing you want is to be overwhelmed with a giant book about becoming happy. This is not a giant book. It's a nice munchable size. Brad, it's good to know that Stephanie says hi. Scott, greetings to you. Maybe another crazy Texas highway car crash coming. Yeah, man, the fog. We get that in the middle of California. Kim, you say, wish Belinda was with us. You got a New Zealand Rex bunny, but might be a Flemish giant. Wow. I'd love to see it. I don't know if you're in the chat, Kim, but if you can post a picture of that bunny in the chat, that would be awesome. There's our friend Carrie. Good to see you today, Carrie. Our friends Carrie and Matt. We saw in their backyard. My mask. I put my mask on. We were over in their backyard the other night to have some crackers and snacks and chat, and put my mask on the next morning. They had a fire pit. My mask smelled like smoke. I realized I was sucking in a lot of smoke when we were there, but wow, that was a smoky one. Storm is starting to hit in Ohio. Just had a bird hit your window. You think he wants in? Yeah, who doesn't want in? Joni, greetings to you. Ouija, hello. So what was I going to talk about today? Oh, I was going to talk about the Zen Motivational Monday. Now I'm going to go back just a second here to see if I can see any comments. I don't know on this app, the YouTube app, how do you see a comment? I can subscribe to my own show. Okay, well, I'm going to subscribe to my own show. I don't see how I can see a comment here. But anyway, that's not working out as well as I wanted to. I was hoping to talk today about this Zen story that I've heard a number of places. So all my ideas come from places where you can get ideas, as most of our ideas do. But this Zen proverb about the farmer who the we'll see story, where oh yes, Rachel, you're saying that you mentioned me in the book a couple times. There's a person with the username of The Global over on YouTube that says he comments over there, but realize that he's largely just commenting to himself or herself. So I better say hi to The Global too. Yeah, you're right, Scott. I'm not seeing it. I do get weird comments on YouTube that are links to some kind of adult entertainment sites. Some porn bot has decided that my YouTube channel is a great place to get porn subscribers, and I don't know if that's true or not, but you live your lives, enjoy your dreams. So the We'll See story, this farmer, his horse escapes. He loses his horse, and all of his neighbors say, "Oh, what a shame, you've lost this horse." And the farmer says, "We'll see." It's a Zen proverb. The Zen farmer says, "We'll see." Lost his horse, we'll see. 3 days later, the horse returns, and he's got 3 wild horses with him. That's a net gain of 3 horses, and and the and the neighbors all say, "Oh, this is great news! You got 3 new horses. Your horse brought back 3 new horses." And the farmer says, "We'll see, we'll see." A week later, one of his sons is on the back trying to break in one of these new wild horses, and is bucked off and has a very serious leg injury where he's never going to walk the same again. And all of his neighbors say, "Oh God, that's terrible. The horse broke your son's leg and he'll never walk the same." And the farmer says, "We'll see." And then a couple weeks later, the army is passing through town recruiting people, and they don't take his son because he can't march and walk. And all of his neighbors say, "Well, this is great news that your son doesn't have to go off to war." And the farmer says, "We'll see." So maybe I butchered this story a bit, but I think that the story is about you don't know what's good news or what's bad news because the whole story isn't over. And so some things that seem like bad news can turn out to be good news, and unfortunately some things that seem to be good news can turn out to be bad news. But no defeat is permanent, and no victory is permanent as well. So you just got to wait and see how things come out. My best example of this in my life, and my favorite wedding toast, which I've mentioned on the show before, is that all the things that seemed to be so terrible, all those heartbreaks that I had with romances and unrequited love, where I was being unrequited, I was in love, but the other person wasn't interested, and my heart got broken. They seemed so terrible, those things. And then when Belinda came along, Lady Jerry, and we got engaged and married, it turned out that all those terrible things that seemed terrible at the time were actually lucky for me. And so just like in that story that I just told, where you don't really always know what the good news is and what the bad news is in the time when it's happening, I experienced that in my life, that something that I thought was terrible turned out to be lucky. And once you accept the possibility in your life that some things that seem terrible can turn out to be lucky or to have a bright side to them, that's a real game changer. And it can help you to choose happiness or to see happiness as a choice, because you think you don't have a choice. You think, "Oh, my son broke his leg, he's never going to walk the same again. That's the worst thing ever." Well, you can choose to take a "we'll see" attitude about that, because you don't really know for sure. So there, we'll see. We'll see. YouTube user Clinton Reno always says hi. He always watches you on YouTube since he's sworn off Facebook. Yes, Ed, I did know that, because Clinton is the guy who made the Lord and Lady Jerry t-shirts and the Don't Give Up t-shirt and the Hump Day t-shirts also. So that's what that was all about. Somebody said, "Brad, you said I love this. I'm so glad that you're loving this, and I hope that has something to do with what I was doing." Kim, you put your link up there, and let me touch that link to see where I get taken. Oh, that's another. We're just checking that you want to follow this link to a website. Oh my God, this is the thing about Facebook. We just want to make sure that you want to leave another place and go to another thing. Well, it's taking too long to load that, so I'll have to check that out afterwards. But thank you for that link. Darren, you came in at a deep moment. Good stuff. Yeah, Darren, you might have to go back and watch the rest of that little video. Andrew's saying, "Hey, Jay, giving up seems like bad news, but we'll see." Well, yeah, in that sense, Andrew, I think you are also right. When I say don't give up, I mean, mostly I'm talking about the big give up. I'm talking about the big give up on life. And I know that that's a bad choice, because the alternative to life is 0-nothing. And so I always want to take a "we'll see" attitude as far as life goes. But if you're talking about giving up on something that you were doing that you've realized that you don't want to be doing, you raise a good point. Giving up it can be a good choice. Or you're not saying it's a good choice. I know you're making a joke, but giving up on something that you realize is not what you wanted is actually a good thing. So you can't get so hung up on "don't give up" that you keep doing things that you don't enjoy or you don't like or whatever. And I've realized that especially during this break in my live stand-up comedy career, that I'm not really interested. And I knew that this was the case before the pandemic and the lockdown and the pause in live entertainment. I'm not so interested in doing shows for people who got in for free and may not be interested in watching a show. I'm interested in doing, and I know this sounds silly, but I'm interested in doing shows for people who want to see shows, and preferably for people who want to buy a ticket to see my show, because if they value it and I value it, then I think there's a good chance that we're both going to be able to meet somewhere and enjoy our evening. So, Michael, what do you say? You commented at the beginning of the day's briefing every day on YouTube in case anyone pops by. You are the global Michael. Oh, you are the global. Well, thank you, Michael, for doing that. I'll have to check. I'm not sure that I'm always seeing all the comments, and I'm certainly not seeing them right now as I'm looking at the YouTube, because I know that there's comments in there, and I'm not seeing them, and that's a real problem for me, because I want to be seeing them. That is what I want to see, and I'm not seeing them. So what do you do? What do you settings? Could that be it? No. Notifications? Oh no, I don't want to be doing that. Oh, good God. All right, sorry to be wasting all your time with that technological nonsense, but this is the time when you can look at that. Yes, Ed, that there is a real computer on my desk, and I could be running YouTube there. I was hoping if I could get it running on the little Kindle, that I could put that here next to the iPad, which is right there where I'm looking at the comments now, that I could have both things near the thing. But anyway, Jen, you're cutting in and out. You think you're going to have to catch the replay? I'm sorry about that, Jen. Have a great day, and I hope it'll be all straightened out tomorrow. Cindy, you're saying you choose to believe the universe knows better than we do, and everything is unfolding as it should. Yeah, I think I'm on that with you. I don't know that the universe is always conscious, but I think that there's definitely things going on out in the world and forces at work that are beyond our control, and so we just have to keep making an effort to move in the direction we want to go, and not be too concerned by the daily setbacks and obstacles, and to just keep pursuing the direction that we want to move in. And don't be afraid, like Andrew and I were just discussing, if that was really a discussion, Andrew, because I get it's a little bit one-sided when you guys have to type and I get to talk. But as Andrew and I were just talking, this idea that you're pursuing something that you realize as you're pursuing it is not for you, and you give up on that or change directions, that's perfectly acceptable. And I think a lot of times people perceive things as a defeat, when really what they are is a change of direction. You realize that you didn't want something, or you didn't want something enough to keep putting up with the BS and the challenges, and you changed your preference. Now, sometimes people are giving up because what they don't like is the difficulty of it, and we've all got to. There's no progress without struggle, but I do think that it's totally okay. I have so many friends who started off wanting to do live stand-up comedy, as I did, and they got to a point where it was just really challenging to get the gigs and the bookings, and I always thought I was lucky that I still kept getting to do stand-up, and I felt kind of badly for them. They changed their direction and went into writing spec scripts, and they got jobs writing for sitcoms, and then many of them went on to win Emmys and have great financial and creative success, and in some cases they got to be on camera performers on things that they had written or produced, or got written and produced by friends of theirs that they met on the path that they changed directions to. So yeah, I would just my advice is not as simple as pursuing your dream, but to move in the direction that you think is going to make you the most happy, and then keep re-asking yourself the question of am I still in the direction that's making me the most happy, or is there something now that I can see over here that I've moved closer this way? I can see something there that's more to my liking. Keep doing that. Anyway, Bob, yes, I have read Zen and the Art of Archery. It's been a little while. Maybe I'll break that back out. Then Keys, you're saying you have no power. You must be watching this on your phone, you and Uma. So Lady Jerry and I watched on Uma's recommendation. Last week we watched Palmer, and over the weekend we watched The Banker, which I'm also recommending, as Uma did. Really enjoyed it. Dave, you better get some more gas for your generator. Yep. Jen, you're still here. I'm glad to see that. Joni, you're saying you can't wait to buy another ticket to see me. Well, I can't wait for that to happen either. I mean, we're both going to have to wait for that, but that's very nice to hear. Thank you. Pick, rolling blackouts in Texas. Ooh, you saw. Bob, you think it's nice that Dave is getting a gas for Jen? Yeah, I'm not sure that's what he meant, but that'd be great. Rachel, you're saying, did you and Lady Jerry have a nice Valentine's Day yesterday? Yes. Yes, we did. We had a very nice Valentine's Day yesterday. We're very close to, I'm going to put the down payment on the camper tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll tell you about the camper, the truck camper that we're getting. And I'm looking at Toyota Tacoma trucks, trying to decide if I'm going to get a four-wheel drive or a two-wheel drive. And I think I'm going to get the four-wheel drive. It's a little more expensive, but that way you get in a situation, you can get out of a situation. And at my tender age, I don't like to get in a situation that I can't get out of. All right, Rich, you're saying you're a procrastinator, you give up later. Yes, that's my philosophy as well. Kim, you're saying Ohio started, I don't know when yours, Pittsburgh will hit. Oh, you're talking about your snow. Yeah, this blizzard is really terrible. Darren, you're saying being a comedian has got to be one of the most difficult careers. It's so tough, and the ladder to the top is a shaky one. Yeah, Darren, that is true. I mean, when you get on that ladder when you're 21 like I did, it's a little bit easier to deal with the uncertainty, and to be broke and sleep on the floor of your apartment and eat canned chili on a piece of toast is fun. If I had to do that now, and to be honest, I have eaten some, not canned chili, but I have had chili on toast now for dinner. It's not that bad. But I don't think I can put up with the tough problems. Andrew, you saying you're anxiously awaiting the ironic "Don't Give Up" T-shirts. I gave up on the front and nut cancer on the back. Just an example. Yeah, well, when we come up with the print-on-demand T-shirts here at the Jake Show or the Daily Briefing, that'll be great. Dana, you're here. The powers that be don't want the dead. But they sure like messing with you. Yeah, Dana, I hear you. Sometimes people like to mess with you. Oh boy, Kim, you're saying YouTube atheists are great discussions, especially when they're talking about the Koran. Yeah, I don't get involved with conversations with people I don't know about things that are controversial or that are going to cause a big giant argument. That just is not. No, that's not what I'm doing. Pick, you're saying you had to give up today because your cat wanted to sleep on your legs. Well, yeah, when you're in a battle with where the cat's going to take a nap, I suggest that you let the cat do what it wants if you can. Jen says she did stand up in college and quit when she got back to Texas, which you'd had more confidence to try it again then. Yeah, the thing about stand up now, though, Jen, if you were interested in getting into it, is there's so many places and so many people doing it that if you're interested in doing it for fun, which is, I mean, I got into it because I was hoping and dreaming that it would be a career, but I would advise anyone who's getting into it, and I've said this here before as well, you have to do stand-up because you want to be on stage and make people laugh, not because you want to be famous and not because you want to be rich. Now, you may make a nice living and you may get to be a little bit famous, but if your driving force isn't to get on stage to make people laugh and you think that would be cool, you're going to be in trouble. And if that's what you want to do, Jen, you should go for it. I think we've all watched Ted Lasso, Laura. I hope so. I'm thinking about watching Ted Lasso again. That's the kind of pandemic I'm having. Darren, you're saying you recently had a discussion with your son. You treasure and seek the wrong things. We worry about so many things that really don't matter. We try to control what's usually beyond control. We can only control ourselves and how we respond to the uncontrollable. Yeah, well, that's very stoic of you. And there's a daily stoic thing. Ryan Holiday is stoicism that's pretty great. And yeah, you got to focus on the things you can control and try not to spend any time. The first thing you got to ask yourself about something that's bothering you is this within my control? And if it's outside of your control, you know, you can do whatever you need to do to prepare for the consequences, but you can't worry about it because it's outside your control. So I think that's wise advice on your part, Darren. Scott and Ouija both weighing in, four-wheel drive for sure. So thank you for that reaffirmation, confirmation. Dave's saying gas is an 18-hour drive, so that's not going to happen, Jen. Jen, thank you. Looking forward to that hug and that drink. Dana, you're saying you're only going to get stuck further from the road in a four-wheel drive. Well, that may be true. I'm also at my age. Not only do I like to I don't want to get in a situation that I can't get out of. I'm very wary about that, and so I don't think I'm going to go that far. Dave is saying all-wheel drive Subaru. Well, we have that Subaru, and we like it, but we're looking to get something that's more of like a camper. I wish Toyota made an all-wheel drive truck. Instead of the four-wheel drive. That would be nice. Andrew, you're saying I seem pretty chipper today, loving my good vibrations. Well, that's nice. Thank you. I do feel pretty chipper today. Jake, you're Joni, you're asking if I know Chris Fonseca. I think I've met him before, but I don't know him well, or I would say I don't really know him. Don, you're saying you've seen me twice and ready for the third. Yeah, well, the third time's the charm. That's what they say. Oh, and you got your second COVID shot. Congratulations, Don. That is great news. I look forward to the day when we all have our second COVID shot. Lady Jerry just sent me a text link where you can enter your phone number and they'll contact you if they've got extra shots and you have whatever time to get there. So I haven't signed up for that yet, but I've got friends who have. Rachel suggesting maybe Jen could open for me at Jake Fest. Well, Rachel, I think there's going to be a part of Jake Fest that's definitely open mic that I'll host, where everybody can get up and say a little hello or make a little speech to each other. Or, you know, well, obviously we're going to have some roundtable pizza parties, but I think the idea of an open mic is a pretty good idea. Not open mic to everyone, but open mic to us. You know, the pandemic has gone too long when you watch Dora the Explorer this morning. Keith, I was texting back and forth with a friend of mine, Tom Wilson, today, who's a well-known comedian and actor, and Tom was saying in troubled times his go-to is SpongeBob. So I'm thinking of diving into some SpongeBob later today. But maybe I'll try Dora the Explorer. I think SpongeBob's going to be more my bag, and SpongeBob sweeter than South Park, so I may go SpongeBob. Kim, you're saying hope to see me at a show in Pittsburgh. They send me out there to I was down on that waterfront that used to be steel mill area, although as I joked, everywhere in Pittsburgh used to be a steel mill. But I'd love to get back to Pittsburgh, so hopefully that's going to happen. But to be honest, those improvs, that's where I played, it's tricky for me to get booked there because they've got a funny. I'm outside of what they want to spend on a show, I think, or they feel like I'm not worth it. I want to be fair to them and how they see it too. But Brad, you're trying to live by the serenity prayer. God grant you the serenity to accept the things you cannot change, the courage to things you can't change, the things you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I also really like the serenity prayer, Brad. The courage to change the things you can, the serenity to accept the things you cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference. The tricky one is the third one, the wisdom to know the difference. Everybody thinks it's hard to have the courage to change the things you can, and everybody kind of assumes they'd be able to accept the things they can't change. But knowing what you can and can't change, that's the tricky part. That's the wisdom to know the difference. That's the tricky part of the Serenity Prayer. Darren, you just got the second Moderna. Kicked your butt, but worth it. The follow-up shot is vitally important. Yes. Andrew, you're asking him if I enjoy Joe Rogan's stand-up routines. You know, I'm a fan of Joe's podcast, which I've been listening to for years. I think he's an incredible person, and I love his strength matched with his kind of compassion and interests in people, and I think he's a great interviewer. And I haven't seen as much of his stand-up. I mean, I loved his stand-up years ago when I saw him at a comedy festival, and I've watched one of his specials, but which was great. But I think I'd really like to go see him live. He may be in that category of guys who have such a hardcore following that it's hard to get on board if you haven't been watching him for a long time and kind of feel the same energy that the crowd is feeling. But yeah, Joe's amazing. Joe's an amazing. He's got an amazing podcast. He's a really incredible guy. Yeah, terrific stand-up. Obviously, he's had huge success doing that. But just his podcast and the vibe he gives off, and the attention that he's bringing to. I mean, he has some dummies on his show, but who doesn't have? There's dummies in the world. Kim, you're saying you can go get a shot at the grocery store. You have to actually call and make an appointment 2 times, and you get a certificate. Yeah, well, we'll see. Brad, you're saying SpongeBob. You're high-fiving on the SpongeBob. I think so. Jen, you're asking if I know Tig Notaro. I don't know Tig, although she is from the Bay Area, but she came up after me in the Bay Area, so I have not met Tig. Joe Penny's going to do Jake Fest because he was on Jake and the Fat Man. Yeah, well, I don't know how wide of a net we're going to cast in all the Jakes. People are saying hi to my sister. Hi, Sue. I'll say hi, Sue, to you too as well. Carolyn's saying you should get a giant suburban gas guzzler, but you can haul chickens or pigs or whatever you want with room for you to sleep as well. Very economical when you added it all up. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how it all turns out there, Carrie, with that. One last bit of tech advice: if you're trying to get a YouTube app on a Kindle, try to use the browser and see if the comments show up. Oh, that's a good idea. Why didn't I think of that? How are we doing on time? Well, the show's run a little bit long, but I think we have time to go into the Oh, God. Well, we don't have time for that. I'll do that tomorrow, Ed. Thank you. The Funny Bone was the best in the heart of the Pittsburgh. Yeah, Kim. I had performed not at the Funny Bone, but in that hotel there. I did a show years ago. They did comedy in there right next to the Funny Bone. You got your power back, Jen. I'm glad to hear that. So I'm going to go to the Seize the Day. This has been a great Monday for me. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Let me hit the fart machine. I turned it on. Oh, where are you at? Jen's asking, can you have Wilford Brimley at Jake Fest as the diabetes spokesperson? Well, Jen, I think I love Wilford Brimley, but I think he's at the other end of the golden parachute right now. So I don't think we're going to be able to get Wilford Brimley. So where are we? Let's see. I'm going to go. Oh. All right, today's Seize the Day is from, this is a little tricky one. Alice, oh gosh. So I'm going to have to turn on the Bible light. We've got our Bible story tomorrow, and then I don't know if we're going to be able to, I guess I'm going to have to start over on Letters from Grandma because I haven't received any letters from Grandma from outside sources. So this is from Alex Chernoff. Happiness. Today Seize the Day. Oh, God. What have I done? Let's turn on the light. Today's Seize the Day. A lot of great, nice, peaceful thoughts here in the chat, if people are listening. or listening to this somewhere else and they want to go to the Facebook chat, Darren is saying, peace be with you, good health, patience, and love. Yes, yes. So here we go. Today's Seize the Day. Happiness is letting go of what you assume your life is supposed to be like right now and sincerely appreciating it for everything that it is. We'll see. I added that. At the end of this day, before you close your eyes, smile and be at peace with where you've been and grateful for what you have. Life is good. Life is good. I do feel pretty good today. Thank you all for being here. This has been nice. Unless we have a From the Beyond panel on JakeFest, Wilford Brimley and Mitch Hedberg are going to be invited to the, if we can get a psychic or that John Edwards guy. I don't even know if John Edwards is still alive, the guy who could talk to dead people on NBC. Andrew, thank you. I am going to try and keep warm out here with the cold LA temperatures. I hope that you'll all be here tomorrow for the Bible story. Let's take a look. Preview of tomorrow's Bible story. As you know, we're following the journey of Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat, and he's been advising Pharaoh. And next week, Joseph the governor, or tomorrow, Joseph the governor. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Maybe a little bit of letter from Grandma. I think I'll crack one of those out. Great to see you all, and hang in there. Don't give up on the big one. There will be plenty of time to give up later. If you want to give up on some little things that you've gotten tired of, go ahead and do that. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for being here. Happy Monday. Happy President's Day.